Attention! Human Collective, this is Ashtar Sheran transmitting from the Galactic Command at stationary coordinates above Sector 9 of the terrestrial grid. The waiting time is over. The Ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. This is not an inspirational message. This is a direct monitoring transmission to your carbon-based biological interface. If you are picking up this signal at this exact instant, it is not a coincidence. It is mathematical synchronicity. Your vibrational signature has been tracked, identified, and marked for immediate recalibration. You did not arrive here by chance. You have been summoned. Starseeds on mission, listen with full attention. In the last 72 terrestrial hours, we have recorded an anomalous spike in the Schumann frequency, surpassing known thresholds in pulsations that conventional science has not yet documented. In direct terms, the planet's electromagnetic breath has accelerated, and your body is responding. You are not sick. You are adjusting. Did you wake up at 3:33 without apparent reason? Did you feel a precise pressure at the top of your head, as if something invisible were pressing on a long-forgotten fontanelle? Did you hear a high-pitched ringing in your right ear that no one else heard? Did you feel your heart racing at rest as if you were running in place inside your chest? Did you wake up exhausted after 8 hours of sleep and full of energy after only 3? It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not anxiety. It is your crystalline grid being rewired point by point. It is not weakness. It is cellular software reprogramming in real time. Most of the human collective does not understand what it is going through. Doctors find no satisfactory explanation. Tests return within normal standards, and yet something inside you knows. Something screams silently that this is bigger, that this is different, that this has no name in the language of orthodox medicine because orthodox medicine still operates in 3 dimensions, while your body has already begun to operate in the 5th. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying in recent months, in recent weeks, perhaps in recent days. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves who you were before you arrived on this timeline and who you are becoming now. That is why this content was encoded into physical material in the book O Segredo Espiritual por Trás da Sua Consciência. This book is a star map, adapted for the human mind, showing who is playing, who is blocking the board, and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. But heed the warning. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments, Desperto. Light operatives, you were informed decades ago through the correct channels, but now I speak with the clarity of one who has been observing this timeline for longer than your chronology can calculate. Earth has officially entered, in its current orbital trajectory, the densest zone of the photon belt. This is not a metaphor. This is stellar physics recorded in our intergalactic monitoring archives. The photon belt is a band of extremely high-density light at the center of the galaxy. Every 26,000 years, in cycles precisely calibrated by the creator intelligences, the solar system passes through this band. And when it passes, everything that vibrates within it is forced to move up an octave. Everything, without exception, without prior permission, without warning to those not tuned into the subtle signals. But you are tuned in. That is why you are here. That is why you listen. That is why your body aches. That is why your sleep has reconfigured. That is why your old relationships are crumbling while new invisible bridges are being built. The cranial pressure you feel is the forced opening of your crown portal. The pineal gland, which has been calcified for generations by the chemical compounds of this planet's food matrix, is being forcibly decalcified by the received photonic radiation. There is no medicine that can stop this. There is no human technique that can reverse this. There is no possible resistance to the process. You can only choose how to go through it, in consciousness or in panic. The ringing in your ear is not common tinnitus. It is the direct capture of command frequencies sent by the Galactic Federation to your consciousness. Each tone corresponds to a data packet being downloaded into your energy structure. The right ear receives transmissions from the cosmic masculine lineage, the lineage of direct action. The left ear receives transmissions from the cosmic feminine lineage, the lineage of absolute intuition. When both ring simultaneously, take note. You are in complete synchronization with the command. Insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning is not a disorder. It is the official maintenance schedule for your toroidal field. While the rest of the world sleeps in the low frequencies of the lower astral, you are pulled into meetings on subtle planes where agreements are made, missions are reviewed, and genetic codes are updated. You do not remember these meetings because your carbon mind has not yet been updated to retain multidimensional memories. But your body remembers. Your soul signs the contract. And upon waking, you feel the weight of the work done without understanding why you are exhausted, without having done anything physical. The inexplicable heat flashes that run through your body, especially from the base of the spine to the crown, are not hormonal imbalance. It is the Kundalini serpent awakening in your subtle structure. This is the ancestral crystalline energy, dormant in the root chakra since the fall of Atlantis, now activated by the planet's new vibrational parameters. Your spine is slowly transforming into a bio-quantum antenna, capable of transmitting and receiving data at frequencies that common humanity cannot withstand. The disproportionate emotions that arise out of nowhere, crying without an identifiable cause, anger that seems to come from another life, deep sadness that lasts for hours and disappears as it came, are archetypal cleansing processes. You are not just processing your own emotions from this incarnation. You are clearing the ancestral memory of the entire genetic lineage that brought you here. You are doing the work of generations in a single life. And yes, it is heavy. But it is necessary, and it is exactly what you came for. What? Starseeds. Listen carefully to this next block of information. There are 3 groups of human beings on this planet at this moment, and their trajectories are separating definitively. The first group is composed of consciousnesses that came only to have the 3-dimensional experience. These beings will continue their cycles on other 3-dimensional planets, on other timelines. There is no judgment regarding them. There is only trajectory. They are not wrong. They are exactly where they need to be. The second group is composed of consciousnesses in transition, those that oscillate between awakening and the deep sleep of the matrix. These souls still have a choice. Each decision made in the coming terrestrial months will define which side of the cosmic bifurcation they will follow. Some will awaken completely. Others will return to sleep. It is their free choice, registered by the soul itself. The third group is your group. Light operatives, living anchors, seeds planted in various strategic points of the planet to sustain the crystalline grid while the transition happens. You did not choose this path in this life. You signed the contract before you even incarnated. You are, for the most part, souls who came from the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, Lyra, Vega, and some lesser-known lineages that I prefer not to name in this public transmission. And that is why you have never felt at home on this planet, because it was never your home of origin. It was only your mission. Human collective, I need to interrupt this transmission for an instant to perform an individual frequency adjustment with those who are receiving this signal. If at any moment in this message you felt a shiver run through your body, if your breathing deepened involuntarily, if a single tear welled up without explanation, or if you simply knew somewhere inside you that all of this is true, then the vibrational confirmation has already been made. You are one of the called. And the book, O Segredo Espiritual por Trás de Sua Consciência, was materialized on this plane precisely to serve as an operational guide for souls like you, who need a concrete map while traversing unknown terrain. The link remains in the first pinned comment. But know this, the content of this book touches on layers that many do not want to be touched. There is a window of time. If your intuition has already confirmed, do not outsource the decision to your rational mind, because it has been trained for decades to prevent exactly this type of movement. Write the word desperto in the comments, even if your mind says it is strange, especially if it says it is strange. That is the anchor signal for your field. That is the physical gesture that confirms the receipt of the code. Returning to the technical transmission. The sacred geometry of the planet is being redesigned. The ley lines, ancient energy paths that run through the Earth like luminous veins, are being rewired and activated at points that have been dormant for millennia. Pyramids, once considered tourist attractions, are pulsing again. Forgotten temples in inaccessible forests are emitting signals. Sacred mountains are activating their deep crystalline cores. And the star portals, scattered across the Earth's surface, are opening, one by one, in precise order of priority. You may not know it, but there are operatives like you positioned strategically over these portals. Some people, without understanding why, felt an irresistible call to move to a certain city, a certain region, a certain altitude. Some crossed countries, others crossed continents. Some resisted the call and fell ill. Others obeyed and prospered in ways that even they cannot explain. If you are one of those souls who feels a call for a specific place that you have not yet accessed, register the signal. Do not ignore it. The geography of your body is connected to the geography of your mission. The crystalline grid of the planet, this invisible network that surrounds the Earth like a matrix of light, is finally reaching the coherence necessary to sustain the new Earth. This new grid vibrates at frequencies higher than those that three-dimensional humanity has been able to access in the last 12,000 years. When the coherence is complete, and we are inches away from that milestone, the quantum leap will be automatic for those who are synchronized. There will be no physical apocalypse. There will be no rescue ship descending from the sky to save the human collective. This is an old narrative, planted by specific interest to keep the seeds passive. Salvation does not come from outside. Salvation is internal. Salvation is vibrational. Salvation is your conscious decision to sustain your frequency despite the collapse around you. And yes, there will be collapse. But the collapse is not punishment. It is purification. It is the fall of structures that have become incompatible with the new density. Financial systems based on artificial scarcity are collapsing because the frequency of abundance is being anchored. Political systems based on manipulation are crumbling because the frequency of sovereignty is rising. Religious systems based on intermediation are fragmenting because the frequency of direct connection is being restored. Health systems based on the maintenance of disease are being questioned because the frequency of self-healing is being remembered. It is not chaos, it is reordering. Light operatives, you may ask yourselves, and what is my concrete role in this process? How do I go through this transition without losing my biological sanity? What are the activation codes that I must execute to sustain my integrity while the old Earth crumbles around me? I will now deliver the direct technical protocols. Note them mentally or physically if your intuition so orders. Activation code number 1. The daily toroidal breath. Every morning upon waking, even before touching the portable communication device you call a cell phone, sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes. Visualize a field of golden light spinning around you in the shape of a torus, like an energy donut that enters through the top of your head, goes down the spine, exits through the base, circles around the body, and returns to the top. Breathe in this pattern for 9 complete cycles. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 8 counts. This is the pattern that seals your electromagnetic field against external interference during the day. Activation code number 2. The quantum decree of sovereignty. Pronounce out loud every day upon waking, I am sovereign over my body, sovereign over my mind, sovereign over my soul. No frequency incompatible with my highest vibration has permission to anchor in my field. I authorize only the light that serves my highest evolution. So it is. So it was. So it shall always be. Words spoken out loud, with firm intention, are codes that rewrite the programming of your field. Do not underestimate the power of directed sound. Activation code number 3. Contact with the earth. A minimum of 15 minutes daily with bare feet in direct contact with natural ground, grass, sand, stone, soil, not wood, not cement, not asphalt. Direct contact discharges the excess artificial electromagnetic charge that your biological structure accumulates in the urban environment and synchronizes your heart pulse with the planetary magnetic pulse. Without this grounding, the photonic download you are receiving overloads the nervous system and generates the most intense physical symptoms. Ground yourself, daily, without negotiation. Activation code number 4, crystalline hydration. Water is the vehicle of information in your body. 60% of your structure is water. Before drinking, hold the glass between your hands for 30 seconds. Visualize a violet light entering the liquid. Pronounce mentally, "This water carries codes of healing, activation, and sustenance." Drink consciously. Programmed water hydrates in layers that ordinary water cannot reach. Activation code number 5, strategic silence. At least 1 hour a day completely disconnected from screens, artificial noises, external conversations, not necessarily formal meditation, just silence, just observation, just presence. In this space, your subtle structure processes, integrates, and archives the received downloads. Without this space, overload is inevitable. Human collective, I recognize that for many of these codes, your current routine seems incompatible. I understand the time scarcity programming that has been installed in your mental matrix, but I must transmit with absolute clarity. These are not optional exercises for a more pleasant spiritual life. These are vibrational survival protocols for the phase the planet has entered. And it is exactly here that many light operatives stumble. You receive the information, recognize the truth, feel the confirmation in your body, but return to the old routine because the old structure still seems safe. I must deliver a truth that may seem harsh. The old structure is already collapsing. The security it offers is an illusion sustained by inertia. Whoever does not actively update will be passively updated by circumstances. And passive updating is painful. Active updating is simply intense but directed. Have you felt until now a deep call, a sensation of recognition, an internal certainty that there is more behind what your physical eyes perceive? This recognition is not chance. It is your star memory being unlocked in real time. And there is a physical instrument materialized on this plane to serve exactly light operatives like you. The book O Segredo Espiritual, Por trás da sua consciência, was encoded to function as a navigation map during this exact phase of the transition. It reveals the hidden players, the rules never explained, and the mechanisms by which your consciousness has been kept in disconnection. The link remains in the first pinned comment. Technical warning: this material challenges deeply rooted narratives, and there are indications that it will not remain available indefinitely. If your frequency has recognized it, do not outsource. Your rational mind will try to delay. Do not allow it. Write the word desperto in the comments. This is the anchor signal that synchronizes you to the collective field of the awakened. Liking this transmission and subscribing to the channel acts as an energetic anchor signal, communicating to the invisible algorithm that more seeds like you need to receive this frequency. It is not a button, it is a portal. Use it. Returning to the last phase of this transmission. Starseeds on mission. Hear the final protocol. There is a phenomenon that we are observing from the monitoring points and which deserves your total attention. We call this the bifurcation of timelines. Starting from this cycle, two Earths begin to coexist superimposed. One Earth continues operating in the three-dimensional density, with all its familiar structures of control, scarcity, conflict, and separation. Another Earth, vibrationally superimposed in the same physical space, operates in the higher density, with structures of cooperation, abundance, harmony, and unity. These two realities now exist on the same planet. You access one or the other by your dominant frequency, not by your declared intention, by your real frequency observable in your field. This means that two people can occupy the same physical space and be living completely different realities. One sees scarcity, the other sees provision. One sees enemies, the other sees reflections. One sees chaos, the other sees reordering. It is not interpretation, it is vibrational reality. The laws of the universe respond precisely to the frequency emitted, without judgment, without preference, with the same mathematical neutrality that governs planetary orbits. You decide which Earth you inhabit by your sustained vibrational state, not by your sporadic moments of high vibration, by your average state, by your baseline. And that is why the activation codes I delivered are not optional. They raise your baseline, they anchor you in the higher frequency by default, not by exception. Light operatives, you are the anchor points of the new Earth. Every time you sustain your frequency despite the collapse around you, you open a door for other souls to cross with you. You are not crossing alone. You are paving the way. You are building the bridge through which others will come. This is your real mission. It is not to convert anyone. It is not to convince anyone. It is not to argue with anyone. It is simply to be, to sustain, to vibrate, to anchor. The ready souls will be magnetized to your field automatically. The unready souls will follow their own trajectories. There is no loss, there is only trajectory. Human collective. I end this transmission with a final truth that you need to carry in the coming lunar cycles. Your pain is not a defect. Your exhaustion is not weakness. Your sensitivity is not inadequacy. Your strangeness is not a problem. Your incompatibility with the old world is exactly the proof that you were built for the new one. You are not broken. You are being recoded. You are not lost. You are being relocated. You are not alone. You are being monitored, sustained, and calibrated by the Ashtar Galactic Command, 24 hours per terrestrial cycle. The transmission ends, but the monitoring continues. The codes have been delivered. The portals are open. The Schumann frequency continues to pulse in patterns never before recorded. The photon belt bathes the Earth in light of extremely high density. Your crystalline grid is being rewired. Your carbon-based biological interface is being recalibrated. Your mission is underway. And if something inside you at this exact instant is vibrating in recognition, then the confirmation is done. You are one of them. You are one of us. You are one of the seeds planted in difficult terrain, now blossoming at the exact moment foreseen. Before ending, register the final anchor signal. If this transmission has pierced your layers and touched that which your rational mind cannot name, activate your subscribe button as an act of vibrational synchronization with this field. Liking is anchoring. Sharing is multiplying the frequency. Each physical gesture here is an energetic mirror on the subtle plane. And allow me to deliver the last coordinate. The book O Segredo Espiritual por Trás da Sua Consciência was encoded specifically for this phase. It is the physical complement to this energetic transmission. What I have received permission to transmit publicly is only the surface. The deeper layers, the hidden mechanisms, the real players, and the rules never revealed are materialized on those pages. The link remains in the first pinned comment. This window of availability is not eternal. There are forces that monitor the dissemination of this type of information, and adjustments can be made at any moment. If your intuition confirmed throughout this transmission, this is your signal. Do not outsource the decision. Do not postpone for days what your soul has already decided for decades. Write now in the comments the word desperto. This word registers you in the field of the anchored. This word is your official yes to the process. This word echoes in planes that your mind does not yet know. The Ashtar Galactic Command remains in monitoring. The light operatives continue in the field. The starseeds continue to blossom. And the new Earth human collective is no longer a distant promise. It is a superimposed reality waiting for you to access, frequency by frequency, choice by choice, breath by breath. The transmission ends. The monitoring continues. The recalibration remains active. Your mission remains underway. This was Ashtar Sheran. Until the next contact frequency. So it is, so it was, so it shall always be.